Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to um I'm going to show you guys how to create a unit test for a networking service. We're going to mock and um we're going to do it on a factory networking service factory pattern, okay? So let's go ahead and let's walk you through this. If you've been doing some of my tutorials, you're familiar with what's going on. Let me go ahead and where's my right here is my simulator. Yes. So this is this project right here. And of course I can say AL and it will AZ. Okay. Right. And I can go here YZ return. Of course, there's no abbreviations, right? OA. There you go. See. All right. So now that we have this functionality, this is our content view. This is the view which you're looking at. Okay. And it's the button ALAZIO, blah blah blah. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to test the networking service. Now, when we test the networking service, we're not testing whether the URL works. Okay. That's not it. To test, if you're going to test your networking service, all you're testing is the data that comes back. Are you parsing it correctly? Is it being parsed? Okay. And yeah. Is your model correct? You know, can you use the data? Okay. So again, you don't want to use an actual networking service. You don't want to use an actual API call over HTTP. Okay. But you want to test if everything else is working. So what you do is you mock that data. Okay. All right. Give me a second. So another thing too, so when creating a unit test for a networking service, it's generally not recommended to test the actual API call over the network because it introduces dependencies, right? So you're talking about the availability of the API or external factors like network latency, connectivity issues, and these things could actually create inconsistent results. Accordingly, what you want to do is you want to mock the data, and that's what we're going to do. So, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, right? And now I see this factory design pattern, targets. I'm going to add, press this button down here, plus button. And I'm going to look for unit testing bundle. Okay. Get my unit testing bundle, factory design, patterns for a service test. And I'm not going to do that. I want to call mine content view model test. View model test. Okay. There we go. Content view model test, finish. And now look at this right here. Boom. Content view model test. This is what I want. Okay. So now what I need to do to make this work is I have to import XCTest, which I already do. Import foundation, import at testable, right? Testable. Import factory design because I'm going to import this, you know, there the main module, factory design pattern for service. Okay, now that I have access to that, I want to get rid of all this, okay? I don't need this because I'm doing my own thing, okay? All right, so now what I need to do is I need to go ahead and create my service, right? And where's my service? What the heck is my next factory service? Networking service right here. Okay, right. This is my right here. Acronym service. Okay. Let me just so I'm gonna go here. This needs to be, I'm going to say var, right? Networking service. It is of type though, it's going to be our protocol, which we're going to call, which is service protocol. Okay. Service protocol. And we're going to use our bang operator. And then we're going to say, I'm going to have override func setup. Okay. Func setup. And then I'm going to do teardown as well. Override func teardown. There we go. Okay. So now we have these two. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do our setup and our teardown. Okay. Our setup is going to be, we're going to instantiate the networking service. Okay. Networking service equals what? Service factory dot make networking service. So first of all, let's go back here. There's one thing we need to go ahead and make our mock networking service. So let's go here, acronym networking service, and now we need to create a class. Okay, class. Okay, and we're gonna say one is acronym networking service, right? The next one we're gonna say mock acronym networking service. It's another whole separate class. Class. Okay. Mock acronym. Okay. NET working service. Mock acronym networking service. Service protocol. Just like this is a service protocol. Okay. And of course, there is a method that we want. And this is it right here. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and add our stuff in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say completion dot success. Okay. Let's go ahead, and what we need to do is we need to find a something that we can do to return a mocked example of the JSON data that we're going to return that is parsed, right? So, and there's a quick way we can get it, right? Quick way. Here's what I'm going to do. Check this out. So I'm going to go to our content view, right? And what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and run this. Let me show you something. if you want to get some mock data, right? Right? X and M return. Okay, so this is mock data, easy to test, right? And so how I'm going to get this is I'm going to go back here. This is where I hit the return and it calls this, right? Fetch acronyms, right? And on fetch acronyms, what I can say is print acronyms. Fetch acronyms. You know what I'm saying? Print it. Print acronyms. And we should be able to get something. Okay. And I'm going to say right here. And right there, let's say XM return. And no, so give me a second. Okay, so what I did is I removed that print statement from appearing in the text field. That's not, so what I can do though is run it down here where I call the function, right? And where I'm setting acronyms, so I can just go over here and like say print, right, acronyms. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and build this, right? Okay, I can say XM return. And there I have that, and this is it. This is the data, right? This is everything. I can take this, copy it, and go to my mocking, not protocol acronym service. There we go, right? Let me get rid of this. I copied that. Go here, right? I can say completion dot success, right? And I'm gonna say let's acronym object equal V. That's what that, and I can go and copy this, C, put acronym object, and now I have data to mock. That's what this is. And if I go ahead and I press this, everything builds. Okay. And I have this data for a reason. If you're not familiar with this type of stuff, you can look at my other videos where I talk about parsing data and conforming to a data model using codable and yeah, codable and decodable basically. Yeah, so now that we have this, and again, you can also download this. I'm gonna put this up on my GitHub. There's a link to it in the description, so you can kind of walk through this on your own. Okay, so now let's go back here to the oh, by the way, I do have to go to the factory, right? So I have a make a make networking service, right? Factory, right? I have a make networking service, and I'm also going to create another function, static. I don't know what the heck is going on right there. Static func make mock networking service. Okay, make mock networking service. Okay, and it should be service protocol. Service protocol. Okay. And now I should return mock acronym service. Mock acronym networking service. And of course, if I go here, this is where I'm at, right there. Okay. So now I have everything that I need for this, right? So I'm going to go back here to my testing, right? Networking service equals, and the reason why I'm using this protocol, right? Using the protocols constantly is it makes everything less, what's the word I'm looking for? It's loosely coupled. It's not as tightly coupled, right? Networking service, factory, no, what's my factory? I'm sorry, it should be service factory, right? Not networking service factory. Service factory dot make mock networking service, because it has to be a mock networking service. And then I'm gonna say networking service equals nil. This destroys it, and we're gonna say super dot tear down. Okay, so now we're tearing this down. Now we're gonna create a function called fetch at test fetch acronym. Func test FETCHACRONYMS acronyms, right? Okay. We're gonna say networking service dot fetch acronyms, right? For right, I should be able to say it doesn't even matter because I'm not taking this, and this isn't, I'm not putting the actual information in, right? I'm not putting the actual information in. Okay, so let's say results in, I'm not actually using this to pass through. I'm not. Okay, let's say networking service, say switch, right, result. Okay. And we'll say case dot success. Okay, let's ACRONYM acronyms, and we'll say case dot failure. Let's error. Okay, error print error dot localized description. But let's go ahead and let's actually write out tests for this. Okay, so now we're going to use an XCTAssert, XCTAssert, right? Okay, and we're going to say acronyms.count. Okay, is 1 because that's how many items are in this array. 1. Okay, acronyms. And if you actually look at this and study this, which again is downloadable, XCTAssertEqual EQUAL acronym.count equal to 1. Okay. And of course I can run this. and it passes. Oh, Jesus, stop. This is other stuff. Okay. So, yeah. Well, this thing is taking forever. It doesn't matter. This isn't what I wanted. But it's running it. I don't care. Executed one test, 0 failures. Okay. See that? The green, it means they all passed. If I was to say 2, there aren't 2 in it, only 1. Okay. And this failed. Okay. The one item in the array, and the item, let's see, XCTAssertEqual, assert equal, right? Acronyms, ACR acronyms, 0.SF is equal to capital X, capital M. And that should be the first item in our, it says build succeeded, test succeeded. And we can also check that by looking inside of our, where's our service? Networking service, there you go. Right? So yes, the SF right here, the first item in our array, SF, is XM. Short form is XM. Okay. And you can go, let's go ahead and find some more things that we can test that proves that XCTAssertEqual, XCTAssertEqual acronyms, ACR acronyms, 0.LFS, right? Count, okay. 4. There are 4 items. What the heck is going on? All right. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Remember, there are multiple dimensions to this array. Equal, okay, acronyms, 0, LFS, LFS, 0, LF, X chromosome, XCHROMOSOME, X chromosome. Is that the right? Yes, this is right. The right content, and go to our acronym service. Yes, so again, we're looking for the first one of LFS, right? And inside of this is another array. The first one, which is 0, right? And of course, inside is the count 1, right? You know, yeah. LFS, okay, and then LF. This is the key inside of there. And of course, is X chromosome is the value. And you can kind of go down the list, testing, to make sure that yes, I'm returning the proper data back from my mock networking service and that everything else is working correctly. And yeah, so you mock your data, right? And of course, if something ever happens and yeah. So that's how you mock your data. It's your mock networking service is how you test it. And yeah, yeah, on to the next.